Welcome back to the weekly vlogs. We are starting this week with a book haul, a really unplanned book haul. I promised myself I wouldn't buy any books throughout the last days of the year, and I actually didn't plan on buying any books, but my partner was like, do you want to go out shopping? He had like a anime store he wanted to visit, and my favorite bookstore is right next to that store, and so he was like, you want to visit your favorite bookstore? And I had saved up some money for some yarn that I wanted to buy at a yarn expo, but because I haven't worked through as much of my yarn as I wanted to, I don't think going to the yarn expo is actually the right thing to do, because I would buy even more yarn. I just cannot work through that fast enough. So I took the money I saved up for yarn and I put it into books. um, so yeah, normally I wouldn't do a book haul like that, but this is an absolute, yeah, something I wouldn't normally do, because I bought 7 books at once, which really isn't normal for me. But yeah, I was there. I love this bookstore. It's called Dussmann's in Berlin, if you're ever there. It's a wonderful bookstore, and they have like a really big foreign language section. So there are a lot of English books, and then you also have a couple of other different languages. So it's a really good bookstore. So yeah, let's talk about the books that I picked up. The first one, most of these I picked up on Vibe, but some of them I picked up because I already read something by the author. The first one I picked up solely on Vibes, and the cover is called Teenage Girls Can Be Demons by Hailey Piper, and these are, I think, 13 coming-of-age stories. But they all have a horror twist. Normally, coming-of-age stories really aren't for me, but I like the idea of the like coming-of-age turning vicious. I think a lot of the horror comes from the girls themselves, which, yeah, I think that looked really, it sounded good, and I mean the cover is just, I love it. So yeah, this was mostly a cover by, to be honest. Then I missed a book by Brandon Sanderson this year, which I did not realize. This is called Tailored Realities, and it's short stories by Brandon Sanderson. Supposedly sci-fi and fantasy, so yeah, I'm excited for a new Brandon Sanderson that is not a big series. So yeah, I'm really happy with that one. Then, because Zach, your comment was this morning. It's the Monday I uploaded the vlog. I picked it up. I couldn't not. I love the cover. It sounds so funny. So yeah, I will also read it, and then we can exchange opinions on whether or not it's actually a good book. But yeah, this is Dungeon Crawler Carl, where aliens come to his planet, and he then is put into this game show like thing as a dungeon crawler, and he has to survive. And yeah, he has no pants on when he goes there. That is how much I know about the story. But yeah, it looked, I don't know. This series is everywhere. They had like 5 or 6 books in the series. But yeah, it sounded super interesting, so I picked it up. And then we have 4 more. One is another Kingfisher, because I love the other one so much. And this one is a horror fantasy, I think. So, but more on the like horror, like in contrast to the last one. And so this is like a girl or a woman who has to sort out her grandmother's house. She was a hoarder, and then there is horror stuff happening in and around the house, which I think that sounds pretty good. So I picked this up because I do want to read more by T. Kingfisher. Then we have one that was a pretty spontaneous buy, but this is Psycho by Robert Bloch, and I haven't watched the movie. I am pretty sure I haven't watched the series. But I was really interested in the story, and so I have this really cool cover, which is looking like this, and you have this like see-through blood splatter that goes over it. And yeah, I mean, Psycho is a classic, so I'm really excited to have read another classic. Then I picked a book up that I started reading from my library, but there was a long wait list and I didn't get through it in time. So I saw it on the shelves and I was excited to pick it up. So I picked up Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio. This is a really short book, but yeah, I love the cover, to be honest, and it looks really good. And then the last one I picked up is a German book by my favorite, or one of my favorite German authors, which is Walter Mörs. And this is Prinzessin Insomnia und der albtraumfarbene Nachtmar. So Princess Insomnia and the nightmare-colored Nachtmar, whatever Nachtmar would be in English. This is like a really funny, crazy fantasy world for like children and adults. And here the princess of the world, she has insomnia. She doesn't want to have insomnia. So this gnome is like, I'm gonna drive you insane and then you don't have insomnia anymore. And that is what the book is about, which like, they are great books. Some of them are better than other ones, but all in all, I really love his writing style, and you know, you have illustrated pages. So yeah, I really love this. So that is the start of the week. A lot of new books, unplanned, but I'm really excited for all of them. It is the last day of the year. I am already so incredibly over it. If you can hear firework in the background, it is the afternoon. People are crazy. They have been letting off fireworks ever since they started selling them 2 days ago, and I'm so over it. I hate it in general. I think it's just so horrible for like pretty much everyone except for the assholes who like to let firework go. So yeah, I'm annoyed. I'm really annoyed today. Like my husband is downstairs with our dog right now because, you know, he needs to go out, and we're already pretty stressed out for the last walk because all of the walks are pretty okay, but the last one, when we go out like at 6 or 7 with him, it's gonna be horrible, and he's gonna be really afraid because it's just way too loud, and I can't understand people who, yeah, do that. I just can't. We need a firework-free zone in Germany. I think it's necessary. Yeah, let's talk about reading. I haven't continued with the sort of genre right yet because I read Graveyard Shift over the last 2 days. And this has been a little bit of a letdown. I mean, I bought this in the haul because I started it as an ebook and I really liked the beginning, and I still really liked the first half of the book, and then it really fell off in the second half, which was really disappointing. This, in my opinion, is way too short. This should have been at least 100 pages longer. I think there's so much left out of the story that it gets really annoying. It is mainly about like a group of 5 people who cross paths in a graveyard, hence the graveyard shift, at night when they go out smoking. They all do different jobs and they all have like a smoker's break, and they meet up at the graveyard, and then we kind of get the perspective from everyone, like a chapter from one person, a chapter from the next, and so on. And so we get told the story about the mystery of why there is a hole in the graveyard one day, and that is kind of, you know, they are going after the mystery and they try to find out what is happening. One of them is a newspaper editor-in-chief, I think, and so she wants to write an article about it, and then there's like science involved and secret experiments and insomnia and rats and all of that, which, you know, all in all seems pretty interesting. And then we start learning things about the characters, but it's always just so cut off because we have so little of the book that it's just, we never go into any detail. It's just really glossed over a lot of the parts. That was really disappointing because the book started so interesting, and then we had like this really quick resolution in the end, and then the book just ends and we don't even get to know what happened to the characters. And because there are some things that are like, you know, that don't ever get resolved around the characters, and I wanted to know what happened to them. And so yeah, I was kind of disappointed, so I gave it 3 stars because I did like the beginning, and I think it's like a quick little mystery that has like really interesting undertones. of like, you know, these people don't know a lot about each other, at least at the beginning of the book. The whole book plays through one night. Like it's just the evening till the morning, or like the afternoon of the next day. So it's just one day. And yeah, it was really disappointing. It ended just way too soon. We glossed over too many things. um, I can hear the rockets going off. It's driving me insane. But yeah, a little bit of a disappointment. Sad to say. I might try another of ML Rio's books that is longer, because I did like the way the story started and the way the characters were portrayed and stuff. I did really like that. I just think that was a little bit of like a story that shouldn't be a shorter story, because the book is just 100 pages and it was just too little. But yeah, I finished it. So yeah, I will continue with the Sword of Shannara tomorrow, the first of the new year, which, you know, I'm totally fine with. But yeah, that is kind of all of the reading I've done. And what I'm mostly focusing on right now is continuing knitting my sweater, because I have only 3 rows left of the color work, the first color work, and that is how it's looking right now. You can actually see the pattern now. It's not looking perfect. It's puckering a lot. Okay, we had a quick little distraction because my mom called, and obviously I have to take that call. So yeah, I have 3 rows left. It is looking a little bit scrunched, so hopefully that will work itself out with washing. I have no idea. But you know what? I'm just hoping it will turn out fine. That would be ideal for me. But yeah, I don't have any idea if this will turn out great. But yeah, you know, I'm trying, and if it doesn't look too good, I will just wear it at home. I'm totally fine with that. It's my first color work, so I'm not expecting brilliancy, you know. But yeah, that is what I will be working on, and I will be doing some gaming, and hopefully I will be able to stay up till midnight. Normally I don't stay up that late, so I don't know if I will be managing that, but I will try. But yeah, I will see you tomorrow, where I will continue with the Sword of Shannara. And yeah, you know, it's kind of crazy that the year is already over, you know. And yeah, I kind of can only hope that the next year will be better, to be honest, but who knows? I am really starting to hate New Year's celebrations. I have to say, I got maybe like 2 hours of sleep this night, because the people are just crazy. They started with the fireworks at like noon. We had a horrible time getting our dog to go outside. He doesn't have a problem with like single explosions, but like once the firework starts up like really crazily, yeah, it's just too loud for him, and it was horrible. It was really horrible. And then they were doing fireworks till 7 this morning, all throughout the night, and they did not stop. And then they are still occasionally letting fireworks go off, which like I'm so over it. I'm gonna sound like a bitter old person now, but I'm so over it. I want no more fireworks for private people. I can't stand it anymore. So yeah, I've been pretty tired, but I did make quite a bit of progress with the Sword of Shannara. I am now it doesn't look like much progress, but I did make progress. I'm now at page 186. So our group of 3 managed quite the adventure, but they did get to the place where they were supposed to meet up with Elanon again. Is Elanon the right name? Man, me and names. I have so many problems with names. Yeah, Elanon is the right name. So yeah, so they went to the place where they were supposed to go, and it's a city full of dwarves, and they were all really receptive to them. And then Elanon was a couple of days late, and they were all pretty like, you know, pretty worried. And obviously he came back with like, oh, the bad guys have the sword in their possession now. They pretty much like overtook the place where the sword is currently. They can't use the sword, but obviously they can hinder the good guys from getting the sword. So that is what has happened. And now our group with additional people, a couple of elves, some dwarves and stuff like that, are now on their way to get the sword back, which, you know, is what the book is mainly about. So they have gone on an additional journey and they are slowly getting there. And Shay, our half-elf, who is the heir to the sword, is like slowly accepting that there might be more to him than he thought. So yeah, it's kind of cute. I do enjoy the whole journeying. For me, it feels kind of a little bit like a mixture of The Lord of the Rings and the David Eddings and Lee Eddings series, the Begariad. So it's kind of a middle ground of those, I feel like. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I think it's a pretty solid fantasy so far. I do love me a good journey, so we're good on that. I'm enjoying that. I will continue with that. It will take me a little bit to get through because the book has over 700 pages. So obviously it's you know, it's quite a chunker to read through. But yeah, it's a good start into the year with reading, to be honest. And then I did also make quite a bit of progress with my knitting, which I'm super happy about. I finished the first part of the color work. I need to be careful how I show it to you. This is how it's looking. Well, it's a little bit weird looking. This is the first of the color work that is finished. It looks a little bit frumpy. Hopefully that will wash out. If not, the sweater will look a little bit weird. But hopefully it will wash out. I don't know. It's my first try doing something like this. You know, you learn by doing, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm currently working on the collar because I think it's quite good to have the collar already situated so I can tell how the body is fitting. And then once I finish the collar, I will start on the sleeves because obviously I only finished the first of the color work for the body, and then I have to do the sleeves. I always do the sleeves before I do the body because I can always make the body shorter, but I hate having short sleeves. So in the case I don't have enough yarn, it's always better to have the sleeves done and a shorter body. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of how it's looking. I feel like you can really tell that it's a rose border. And yeah, it feels really good. I love the yarn. It's a yarn I've used a couple of times now. But yeah, it's really nice making progress with this project again. And then once I finish this, I will then go and do a sewing project. Originally, I wanted to do it whilst I still have time off of work, but I kind of feel like focusing on the sweater to get it finished so I can actually wear it whilst it's still cold, because that will probably take me, I don't know, a week or two still. Depends on if I'm getting faster with the color work. But yeah, so that will obviously take me some time still, and the sewing project is a skirt, which obviously is more suited to summer anyways. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do it like that. So that is what I'm up to right now. So I am now halfway through the Sword of Shannara. We are still on our journey, but we had a couple of scuffles with gnomes. We encountered some nice ones who've kind of like split off of the main gnome group, and then we have had some fights and interactions with that, and then our group got split up, as it happens so often. And yeah, now they are in like two different places. They don't know what happened to each other. So, you know, we are in quite like a precarious situation. But they are still trying to go forward and get on with their mission and hoping that the other ones live. So that is kind of where we are right now. There was a lot like happening like in detail, but like it doesn't really make sense to tell you all of the little details because for that you would need to just read the book, you know. But yeah, our group is still the same. They didn't really change at all. So yeah, we had some injuries, some healing, they are now through another forest and are now coming into the mountains, and that obviously brings a lot of like problems with this weather-wise. So that is kind of the part of the journey we're on so far. And yeah, I do love me a good, like a really good journey fantasy. So I'm really happy with the book. I'm really enjoying it so far. But yeah, halfway through. So maybe another like couple of days, and then I will be through the Sword of Shannara. But like, I'm not rushing here. Other than that, I didn't do too much. I finished my collar, which, you know, that is a pretty quick thing nowadays. I have done a couple of them now, and I'm pretty quick with the collar. So I did a folded collar. It looks really good. I tried it on, and I am now working on the first sleeve. I am continuing with the pattern. Like, it looks really good in the camera, but like if you look up close, you can tell how much better I have gotten with my color work. But obviously the beginning of the color work looks a little bit meh. So yeah, we'll see how it will turn out once it's washed and blocked. But I mean, it is my first piece. I think if you make something handmade for your first piece, it's fine if it's not perfect. If anybody asks, I can tell them I did it myself and it's my first one. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to see this coming together. So I will probably work more on the first sleeve to get the first row of color work done, and then there is quite a bit of black, and then we have a second row of color work. So if I can get the first row of color work done today, I would be really happy with that. So that is kind of the goal for today. And then yeah, today's my last day of vacation. So it's Friday, so we have Saturday and Sunday, and then work. It's back to work. But yeah, I'm enjoying the last couple of days off. And I also bought myself a new like fitness thing for my workouts. I bought myself some dip bars, which I'm really excited for, so I can make like a couple of different workouts, because I do work out at home, and I did want to do a little bit more, like I'm doing more calisthenics workouts nowadays, and I wanted some dip bars so I can get better at them. And there are like a lot of exercises that I want to do that you kind of need dip bars for, so I'm excited for those to come next week so I can up my level of workouts, which will be really exciting. So yeah, that is kind of what's happening, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, I am now 500 pages in, so we are nearing the end. So the end will probably be in the next vlog because it is Saturday already. Yeah, I really like this. I think one thing that stands out to me the most in like this part that I've read now is that, you know, in typical fantasy, and I think also with like the Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, all of the people that help the main character are kind of there for the same reason. Like they all want to like achieve the same goal, they believe in the same things, you know. They might have a different like they might want to take different actions, but in the end they like believe in the same thing. In this book we have a couple of characters who are there because of totally different goals than the rest of the company. For example, Shay, our main character, they nearly had the sword, but it's also it's outside of where they thought it would be, and so he didn't believe it was the sword because they had different infos of where the sword was supposed to be, and so they missed the sword. And so Shay is like a little bit down, and he's like, oh, what am I gonna do? Like there was a prophecy that like one will die who has first seen the sword, so maybe I'm supposed to die now and stuff like that. And he's currently on his way with like a thief guy who he picked up and met over the journey. And the thief guy, for example, he couldn't care less about the sword and the like everything Shay is like fighting for. He just wants revenge because the gnome that has the sword fooled him. And that is that is all of the motivation the character has. He doesn't have any other motivation than the Don't Fool Him, and he's angry and he wants revenge. And he doesn't care for the rest, but he goes along because obviously he wants his revenge, and he's like, oh Shay, you should want revenge as well. He's not like, Shay would want to have different motives. He's like, I want revenge, so you should want revenge as well. And I think that is something that I really like in this one. Like, not everybody has the same motivation, and it's also not like he comes into this group and is like, oh, my motivation should be the higher goal to like save everybody. No, his goal is just get revenge. That is everything he wants. So yeah, I think I kind of like that. It's fun to have characters who don't really feel involved, but they are helping nonetheless because they have some kind of a stake in it, even though it has nothing to do with the original stake. So yeah, we are still on our journey. We had a couple of like bigger battles, smaller battles. There was a lot of fighting. We did like have a little bit more of a journey. Obviously, we found the sword. We have lost it again, and we are obviously Shay is now on his way, and then we have a couple of the other characters have a little bit of like other problems now because of what their standing is. We have the dwarves, for example, the main dwarf that is with our group. He's like the prince of the dwarves, and he has a brother, and the brother is of the opinion that they should handle things differently, and so there's a lot of like problems with like what they want to do, the involvement they want to have, and all of that. So we have a couple of those things as well. So yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this. And I have 200 pages left, which is a goal for tomorrow, but that will be in the next vlog then. I'm really sorry, but yeah, I have to end this vlog today. And I already had like a good reading session for today, so I want to spend the rest of the day gaming and knitting, and I made some nice progress knitting. So let me show you. This is how it's looking right now. It's finally looking like something you can wear. But yeah, here's another look at the collar, and then this is how far I've gotten with the first sleeve. I finished the first color work section, and then I finished the in-between black section, and now I'm starting the second colorwork section, and then the rest of the sleeve is black. So that is where I'm at right now, and yeah, I think it looks really cool. As you can see, this is really like scrunched up. I'm hoping, like I'm at the point where I really want to finish this because I'm so afraid it's not gonna look good, but I don't know until I will have it finished and washed. So yeah, I don't know. It could really look bad at the end, but I really like the pattern and I love my color combination, so I'm looking forward to getting more of this done. So yeah, my goal is maybe to finish the second colorwork section of the sleeve, because obviously it's not that many stitches around, so it should go a lot quicker than like the original color section. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm so excited for this one, so I really need to work on it. But yeah, that is kind of the last week of my vacation. It's kind of sad that 2 weeks are already over. Also, today we had a snow day. I'm gonna insert you some video, but it looked so pretty outside. We had so much fun walking our dog because our dog loves snow. And it was so much fun. Like, it was snowing so much the whole day. It's really pretty outside. It's what I would have wanted for Christmas, though for Christmas we only got the cold and not the snow. But yeah, so that was a really nice ending to the last vacation week. I hope you enjoyed this week. I finished a book, and I nearly finished a second book, which I'm really happy with, even though the graveyard shift was kind of disappointing, but you know, that happens. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week. I hope it was interesting, and I hope your reading week went actually as well as mine, because I did enjoy everything I read. Even though I was disappointed in the book, I still enjoyed the reading. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed your reading week, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye bye, and thank you for watching.